morning. Today we decided to go to House on the Rock. And then we're gonna go to the Cave of the Mounds. So this is kind of exciting for me. I've always been wanting to see this house and super glad we were able to make it today.
Dragons. Oh, they said something about the bathrooms not working. Wow, 2 hours into your journey. We have a long journey.
There's 3 sections. One's an Asian garden.
The one is the mill house in Streets of Yesterday. Section 3 is like organ room, inspiration room, circus room. There's a restaurant in here too. Yeah. Except there. This was the welcome center. And this is the Asian garden.
Want me to see it? How fitting. You can't have an Asian garden if you don't have koi fish.
On March 3rd, 1914, to parents Alex P. Jordan and Mary Magdalena Jordan. Alex's parents were strong, hardworking, and thrifty.
What's most interesting about this is he brought stones up on his back
Alex Jr. was a rambunctious
and
youngster
he started charging admission
demonstrated
fees,
remarkable dexterity
which
with
kept
his hands, building
which kept
models for
funding
ships and houses.
him being
As
able
he
to build
grew
this
older,
house.
Alex Jr. worked day and night for his father.
He carried up the cement, carried up the sand, carried up the water and the timbers. He first built the shack. And then tore it down. Yeah, they say even though he built it with low ceilings, he was 6'4".
Yeah.
Have you lived 25 years after? Yeah.
Chicago, near the streets once ruled by Al Capone. Here, Alex listened to a wide variety of machines to see how much people enjoyed them. Somewhere along the way, developed. In time, it would become obvious that there was more than just a little P.T. Barnum in Alex Jordan. He made notes about all this and began to plan his own music machines, first sketching out his ideas and then asking John Havanchek and crew to build innovative machines, sometimes beginning with only vague instructions. Odd piece of equipment, etc. Always when I
Unfortunately, the overlook to see this from the highway is closed. So the photographs of this view is all we'll be able to get.
It's the 14th room of the house to be built, and perhaps the most memorable. The Infinity Room thrusts boldly out over the surrounding landscape. Alex Jordan first dreamed of the Infinity Room way back in the 1940s, and the finished product is amazingly close to the original sketches. Construction on the Infinity Room finally began in 1984, and it opened the following year to rave reviews. This unique room with walls of glass windows projects out over the Wyoming Valley 218 feet, with the last 140 feet hanging without support. First, a 12-ton concrete and steel bridge was built to connect Deer Shelter Rock with Observation Rock. Then, 105 yards of concrete was used to serve as a counterbalance to enable the remaining 140 feet to protrude without support. A celebration of architecture you must behold for yourself. The Infinity Room seemingly goes on forever. A glass table provides visitors with a breathtaking view of the forest floor 156 feet below. Tapered construction was intentional, as Alex wanted the room to appear to extend on forever. There are an astounding 3,264 panes of glass, offering a breathtaking view of the rolling countryside, which Alex loved so much. The Infinity Room is designed to hold 200 pounds per square foot, which is much more weight than all the people you could assemble inside at one time. It's inspected regularly for structural integrity. It has a 6-inch incline engineered to be level when full of people. This results in some up and down play, which is no need for alarm. It needs a certain amount of give that helps take the shock of people walking on it.
I'm kind of proud of it. It turned out magnificently. I'm glad Alex was strong enough with personality to assist that construction can be built, because I think it's one of the premier attractions out there that people come to visit the house.
The Infinity Room. There's no doubt about it. It truly is like no other room in the world.
Here, we're going to go to the Infinity Room next, I think. And then we go into the next section.
Well, so he would duck in here. This is his kitchen area. More up there, but it's closed.
So they're like, oh, did you leave anything at home? Oh yeah, that thing I wanted to see. How happy you get.
So I have a question.
What?
Would you live here?
Not so far.
Not so far.
They didn't even live here. They lived in Madison. I think I know why it's so short, though. You can only, like, when they started, they didn't know it was going to be a big tourist attraction. They were just building their own place. And you can only lift the boulders so far. They didn't have any tools or anything, so that's probably why it's so short.
So this is Deer Rock. He certainly did achieve that. It looks like it goes on forever. Oh, they block you from going all the way down, though.
When other people, I'm kind of wanting to do this one. It doesn't look like anything in a picture.
Yeah, they don't let anybody go to the end anymore.
That's too... I get it.
They must have let people at some point. They have
I'm sure they did.
They probably had. They said they had a party. Some kind of crazy party. people have big ideas.
Hedging what bets?
Well, the further you go out, the more a person's weight would impact the structure.
It's true.
This is what
Yeah, that is cool.
So you don't need those points. They're just randomly playing. I like how they make it look like a mirror.
Yeah.
It is the summer of 2025. I guess they're going to bring it back the summer of 2026 then. Yeah, a lot of these seating areas near what looks like cooking pots. Probably just places to build fire, huh? this
It probably gets cold, yeah.
probably really cold here. Most importantly, a place to make tea. Oh, I guess these are good fire starters, huh? Pine cones. Good fire starters and
Oh, yeah.
wood. Bet you that's real copper. This is probably where they played cards.
Yeah.
This is cards. Do you think that all of this was his original books?
Those are probably real. I'm thinking everything in here.
Oh, this looks like something my grandma had. did like Asian stuff.
I wonder why you took out the view of the trees and replaced these black.
I don't know.
Maybe they are easy to clean. That must have been tricky. They said they did this without any scaffolding.
Did you lose mom? Oh, okay.
You go. Yeah, there might be bedrooms or bathrooms. This place is a little bit like a maze. Almost like the Winchester house. A little bit of twisty turnies and stuff in between. Okay, so we are done with the original house and the infinity room, so we're just gonna go take a look at the other things they offer here.
Section 2. That was supposed to take 45 minutes. This says 1 to 2 hours. And then another 1 to 2 hours for that one.
Oh wow, it's like the music boxes we had when we were kids. This has got guns, like circus memorabilia. Got some knight in shining armor stuff down here. Knights in armor. Some of these things are creepy, like those dolls. Oh my gosh, I remember this. Holy cow, I must be old. Remember this handshake machine? You squeeze it as hard as you could. Or I think it gives you an electrical shock until you let go. There was two different kinds. There was one to test your grip strength, and there was one that gave you an electrical shock to see how long you could hold on to it before you let go. I think this is the electrical shock one, because I don't see the thumb thing for the grip. Boy, the stuff we used to do to keep ourselves entertained back when. So all these little things here, like here it says asking for a token. This is the tokens you can buy when you first check in. They ask if you want to buy, I think 15 tokens for $5. And if you don't use all your tokens, you can exchange them at the gift shop for 50 cents each. But they control things like this, so you know you can watch the animations or whatever is going on in those.
Through here, or here.
Oh my goodness. It's huge. So it's a whale and an octopus.
One of the stories about the guy when he first came in is during the last couple of weeks before he died, he climbed up.
He what?
He climbed up a scaffolding and went up in the in the mouth, but I didn't know how huge it was.
I could get a picture, but the picture's not gonna be able to fit how big this thing is.
That will do better.
Here's the mouth. Maybe we'll be able to get a little higher though. Oh, that's the Titanic, huh? Ah, that's the Titanic. Jeez, it's so big it really doesn't even fit in this room. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, there's the ship in there.
Yeah.
It's just hard to see with the reflection behind us. Wow. That is crazy. The texture on this is so real. Wow. Are you able to get this picture? Like from here, like, or something? Maybe. We got the wave coming down. That song's gonna be stuck in my head now. Oh, maybe this could be a picture, but it's hard to tell where it is. From up here, you get a good view of the octopus grabbing the whale. So, as you walk up and down this place, there's lots to look at on the sides. So honey, you were saying, what, 2 weeks before his death, he climbed the scaffolding for this?
Yeah, I don't think this was finished when he died.
To give an example of some of these menus back then, the RMS Corinthia. That's just crazy. They have a vegetarian menu. And there's just stuff on here I've never heard before. It's so cool to sit here and read some of this. Wow. That's a life-size carriage. Holy cow, they're huge. That wheel is like the whole size of me. Oh, I smell food. So look at the prices of what their food sells for here. If they're reasonable, maybe we'll grab a bite to eat. And if it's not reasonable, then we'll wait. This place is really interesting though. Even going from what he originally charged, 50 cents, to $21.99, that's pretty reasonable. This place is pretty nuts. Yep, it's a real ice cream store. And it's open. Oh, here's a restaurant. Here is the restaurant.
Brat for $6. Hot dog for $6.
So it's like bar food.
That's not too bad.
Worse than bar food. It's like Chuck E. Cheese food. You get pizza. Yeah, you get pizza, hot dogs, stuff like that. Probably not eat here. It smells good though. So the ice cream shop sells single cones for about $5.50 and double cones for $7. Yeah, that's pretty high. No thanks. Hi.
Yeah.
This reminds me of Europe. And the water fountains they would have. Oh, an old camera shop. So you gotta go through the place to eat. To continue on. That's how they get you with the smells. Hi.
We've seen this one many times.
It's crazy to think that only a short time ago our grandfathers knew exactly what it was like to sit on a chair like this. That does look pretty stressful. Look at all those teeth right there. Goodness.
You know what's weird? You see that thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's the
And
Anheuser-Busch. logo.
I was gonna say, it looks
But
like the
it's
Anheuser Busch.
from something else, I think. There's so much stuff here, and what's crazy is it all started from a guy who just built a house, and people thought it was interesting, so they were paying him to see it. And then he had so much money, he could just do whatever he wanted, whatever he could think of.
So he just made creative projects like this.
There's more to come to.
This is like, yeah, that was very cool. That was like my favorite so far. Thanks for putting
This is what happened when they brought in the electricity.
Dynamite is born of glycerin, and glycerin is born of soap. Alright. Good old American breakfast there. 2 eggs, 2 bacons, and some toast. Wow, some of these old newspapers in here is of my day. That's just crazy. Time flies. Live your life, people. Wow. There it is, December 8th, 1941. December 7th, 1941. And my Auntie Virgie helped a lot of those people that were pulled out. Some of the burning ships.
The world's biggest flying boat crashes in Chesapeake Bay. It was called the Hawaii Mars. And when it crashed, only one person was injured.
These doll houses. Crazy to see. I think the only difference from these, from the ones I used to ride when I was a kid, was that strike pole. You'd go up and down. So I'd like choose my favorite character and then get on it, and it would, you know, just go up and down in a circle. Maybe that's the more modern ones, and the older ones like this didn't move. horse on the carousel. Wow.
This is the room that he would visit every day.
This is the organ room then?
Yeah. Like a lot of his favorite things were in here. He would drive from Madison every day to come visit this room.
It's a pretty huge room. It's pretty magical. There's just so much.
One of his friends worked for a demolition company, and they would, you know, take down old buildings and factories and stuff, and that's how they end up with a lot of stuff.
There was one piece that I saw. He was pretty thrifty. He didn't like to waste money. So he gave them his old pair of shoes and told them to repair the organ with it. And somebody just stashed the shoes away instead of using it. So it's on display.
That sounds like something I would do.
These beard tankards. Now that is a tankard for giants. Okay, so that's a boat propeller. And more tankards for giants. It's kind of fun to do the impossible. This is Walt Disney. Very Imagination preview to life's coming attraction. Albert Einstein. Restoration is the last refuge of he who cannot create. Wow. Those are some strong words. Creativity requires the courage to let go of certainties. And the world is but a canvas to the imagination. Inspiration point. Aristotle. That's a good one. Happiness depends upon ourselves. Chalet of the Raven. Alright, more Creepy Town. I have to say, I'm not a fan of dolls, or creepy dolls, or doll houses, so I'll be splitting this one pretty quick. Okay, this must be the circus section.
Circus Magogus.
The greatest genre? Oh, the Circus Museum is in Baraboo, Wisconsin, which is nearby here. That's really close to here.
Oh, you think this is real? They have elephants standing on top of elephants. Standing on top of elephants?
I don't think that's real.
That would be crazy.
Imagine if that's not one of them.
It's crazy to think they had circus boats. Here's what one look like inside. Could be in here a long time if you're pushing every one of these buttons and looking at every single thing they have.
This is the original band, right?
It's under repair right now. And this one's under repair too. Seems to be working though. This is the gun room. Weapons room. See some swords over there too. It's like this cool weapon with some matching gunpowder pouch. They really like ornate things, huh?
Even the president. One of the presidents wasn't in the room.
Oh yeah, which one?
I can't remember.
Oh, look at these crown jewels.
The one from that play. Hamilton. I think it's Hamilton.
I have to see these.
Yeah, those are your
You'd try at least. We would. I mean, we've taught what, like gorillas, Carousel and stuff, right? I know.
Some Chinese cats. They had a knighted cat right there. He's biting somebody. It's got big like teeth. It's like a saber-toothed tiger.
I'm sorry. The orb. The king's orb.
The king's orb. The fucking Vivian Westwood man. Yeah. I love Vivian Westwood. Whoa.
Buckingham Palace. Look at the size of that mace right there. It's crazy. Thought it was a scepter at first. Oh, we've been here. Ooh. Interesting crowns. Or interesting replicas of crowns. Bunch of angels in here. Oh, this is the hottest room though.
It wasn't that hot when we were down there, but up here, definitely.
Yeah.
We already saw this.
We did.
We were on the other side of the chain.
This is a different garden than the one in the beginning.
I think it's all connected. I could see where it was chained off. Now I can't. It's a lot high now.
Get that. It's a Ziggy phone. Everybody remembers Mickey Mouse phone. Oh wow, the Sports Illustrated tennis shoe telephone. I kind of remember that being, it was a commercial on TV. the Mickey Mouse one. Of course, an Elf phone. Oh, Peanuts. Snoopy phone, Popeye phone, Alvin Chipmunks. Dang. I kind of remember this. Starfish tuna fish guy. Star-kissed tuna fish guy. The Star-kissed tuna fish guy. It's a cannon? Holy cow.
That's weird. It's got a slide might coming
Huh? He's got a what?
off of the end of the water. There's like a stalagmite that's growing because of the hardness of the water.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just start your journey here.
Some kind of building down there.
I don't think we need the light, huh?
Must be
And
really
funny,
cool.
we just paid $12 to rent a black light.
We'll be starting the tour in about 7 minutes.
And I can grab your black light while you're waiting. We just need an ID to hold on to.
And you guys, if you have like an extension on that, you can't extend.
Look at this jumbo geode. $130 could get you a rock you could barely carry. And you crack it open for your treasure.
I have a towel saw at home too, but it's not big enough. It's like that.
Guess you could end up with something like that. Cool. Hey, yo, Mom. Remember when you had all of these in the house?
Hey, look at this. I have
Do you know how much this would have been worth if you would have held on to them? I think you probably just gave them away to Goodwill. But you have like really awesome ones like this. That's $1,000.
In this room here. How are you guys doing?
These feel
Two
real
of you.
nice.
And you have your black lights. Amazing. Come on in this room. How are you guys doing?
How do you feel like this? We want a flashlight.
This is $10,000.
You can drink the beer in the cave. So if you wanted to drink it, we have a tour at 3:45 and at 4 o'clock.
1940.
Things before we head in. Please stick with me and stay on the paved path. We're going to be turning, or I'm going to be turning lights on and off as we go, so make sure that you're close. Stay on the paved path. That'll help protect the cave and get us where we need to go. Take lots of pictures. Flash photography is okay. We don't allow gum, candy, or food in the cave. So if anybody has any gum, please spit it out before you go in. There's a garbage can here to my left. If you have clear water with you, that's totally fine. And then our most important thing to remember is we can't touch any of the rocks, walls, or formations. We do have a natural oil on our skin that could stop the cave from growing. Do you guys have any questions about any of that? No? I know I just told you not to touch, but in this room behind me, there's a whole wall of things you're welcome to touch. They're not in the cave anymore. They're not growing. Get your touchy-feelies out before we head in. And then once we get into the cave, I'm going to have you wait at the top of the stairs, and I'll call you down group by group, grab a quick photo, and then we'll be on our way. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right. Look at like beginning or end of the tour, but then I think people are just going to... And then if you guys want to step up on the black mat somewhere in the middle, and then look my way. Everyone just needs to have 2 feet on the black mat.
The cave was discovered in 1939 by an accidental limestone quarry blast on August 4th.
All right, well, this is where they actually first discovered the cave on August 4th, 1939. This was a limestone quarry on a working dairy farm. Periodically, they would rent out this quarry to whoever wanted to use it for whatever they needed it for. And on that day, they were blasting the rock to make roads. They drilled some holes in the rock, packed those holes with dynamite, and blew out about 5,000 tons of rock. And when the dust settled, they had a big hole in the face of their quarry. We can see it above us. It's now conveniently covered with a gift shop. They waited about 3 hours before they came down here and discovered there was a cave here. Would any of you have been brave enough to be the first one down here? Not me. But when they came down here, this is what they saw. They immediately contacted some geologists who helped them get the ball rolling to open to the public, and they did so in May of 1940, and we've been open ever since. As we go through the cave, we'll see lots of different formations. The ones that hang down from the ceiling that look like icicles are called stalactites. They stick tight to the ceiling. The ones that grow up from the ground are stalagmites. They might reach the ceiling someday. We'll also see some cave bacon, some cave popcorn, some cave coral, and some flowstone. It all looks exactly like it sounds. All right. Can everybody hear me okay in the back? So I like to stop here for a couple of reasons. One, so we can admire these formations up close. And another is to talk briefly about how our cave formed. This is a limestone cave. And in order for a limestone cave to start forming, it needs some sort of crack or fissure in the rock. If you look up above these stalagmites here, you'll see it in the ceiling. And it runs from one end of the cave to the other. Without this crack, we wouldn't have a cave here. And we're not sure what happened to make the crack occur, but lucky for us it did. As water makes its way through the ground, like rainwater or snowmelt, it picks up carbon dioxide from dead and decaying plants and makes a weak acid called carbonic acid. If I gave you guys a glass of carbonic acid to drink, do you think you'd do it?
No.
I bet you have. All of our drinks that have bubbles in them have carbonic acid in them. Coke, Pepsi, Sprite, Mountain Dew, root beer, Spotted Cow, they all have carbonic acid in them. So it makes the carbonation. Carbonic acid very easily dissolves limestone, and so once it made its way through that crack, it slowly started to eat away at the rock, leaving little pockets open. Our cave is about 1 to 2 million years old, and 1 to 2 million years ago, the water table was much higher than it is today. Today it's about 400 feet below us. So water would have made its way into those little pockets and slowly eroded the rock away, leaving us with our cave. Water is also responsible for the formation of these beautiful statues in front of us. As water makes its way through the ground, it picks up minerals. And those minerals either stick to the ceiling to form stalactites, or they fall to the floor and build up together to form stalagmites. We don't have a ton of stalactites in this part of the cave because this fissure in the ceiling lets water in really fast. So any minerals coming in don't have time to stick to the ceiling, but they have lots of time to fall to the floor and build up together to form these statues in front of us. And we will see some stalactites later in the cave. We can spread out a little bit. Very long. It's about a third of a mile from end to end. But that makes us about the 5th longest cave in Wisconsin. Wisconsin has over 400 known caves, and the longest one is Crystal Cave, and that's up towards the Eau Claire area, about 3-ish hours northwest of here. And they have about 15 miles of cave. If you look over here to my left, you'll see what looks like dirt falling through the ceiling. This is called an inactive collapse. Above ground, it's called the sinkhole. Below ground, it's called a collapse. And a sinkhole is a pretty good indication that there's a cave nearby. Doesn't always mean that, but there's a pretty good chance there is. When you came down from the parking lot, you might have noticed a big sign, or a big tree stump with a sign sitting on top of it. That is sitting right on top of this collapse here. If you look to the left there, you'll see what looks like a tunnel. They dug back about 60 feet or so to see if there was more cave, and sadly there is not. So this is the end of our cave. One end of our cave. This rock we're standing here is limestone, and it's about 450 million years old. And it got here, I know, crazy, right? It got here because this area used to be covered by a warm, shallow sea called the Ordovician Sea. And as you can imagine, there were lots of sea creatures swimming around, many with shells on their bodies. And as those sea creatures died off, their shells sank to the bottom of the ocean, mixed in with the sand and the silt and the mud. And you look straight up at the ceiling. Here's the tip of it, and it goes back this way. It kind of looks like a speed bump or a unicorn horn on the ceiling. Can everyone see it?
Oh yeah.
That is a cephalopod fossil. Cephalopods were ancient squid. They just happened to have shells on their heads like a party hat millions of years ago. This one is about 6 feet long, and with its soft body tissue and tentacles, it would have been about 12 or 15 feet long. So they were pretty good sized creatures.
Thank you.
Oh, it's scary.
Shining on that, anything?
Really?
Nothing. Oh, look at that. You can see some color in that. Purple and green. Yeah, it's green and purple. Or maybe the purple is the black light.
Yeah,
If it's just green.
Probably glows.
It's actually pretty rough like sandpaper, so probably not.
Hey, so this is like a snake. It's like a snake.
It does look like a snake.
Bacon
You're right.
stalagmite.
Well, if you look at this, this kind of looks like a snake. Are you guys ready? Yeah. Here we go. All right. So this part of the cave we call our cathedral, and we call it that for a couple of reasons. One, some people think that these stalactites here to my right look a little bit like pipe organs you'd find in a church. And another is we have weddings down here. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Whoa, that was tall. Come on, wait. Mom, look at this.
All right, so we won't be here long. The cave actually continues here to my left, but we can't go this way. It's too tight and full of formations. So what they did was they built a man-made tunnel around this part of the cave. So we're going to be leaving Cave of the Mounds and heading into a man-made tunnel, but the same rules of please don't touch apply. Before we do that, I wanted to point out another formation. It's called a column. A column is a stalactite that has grown from the ceiling to the floor, a stalagmite that has grown from the floor all the way to the ceiling, or a stalactite and a stalagmite that have met somewhere in the middle.
Don't step on that. Go over here. Look back in there. See that? Way back in there.
All right, so this is the man-made tunnel. It took them about 12 years or so to carve it out. They used mostly hand drills and tools to do it, and then they cut in these two windows so we could see in kind of like a museum. And we have just about every type of formation known here. Our right window has some beautiful drapery and some stalagmites that look a little bit like beehives, or depending on where you're from, torn on the top. Our left window has a column that's kind of being rusted out by some iron oxide, and you can also see a stalagmite that kind of looks like a garden gnome if you use your imagination. All right, as they were carving out this tunnel, they found a little surprise. They found another cave. This is Surprise Cave. They had no idea it was here. They plowed right through it. It is not part of Cave of the Mounds. It is its own cave system. The only connection it has is this man-made tunnel right here. And it has its own crack or fissure in the ceiling, making it its own cave system. I turned on some black lights when we came in here because our walls and formations do something really cool. They glow. What's happening here is there are some minerals that have seeped in through the rock. You can see the blackish purplish is that manganese, the clearish whitish color is calcite, and then there's a little bit of iron oxide in there too, but that doesn't have anything to do with it. When calcite and manganese are mixed together and a black light shines on them, their electrons get super charged up and excited. It's got a fancy word called fluorescence. When we turn off the black lights, they have to get rid of that energy, and they do it by glowing. And the fancy word for that is phosphorescence.
The reflection of the water makes it look like it goes on forever.
You guys just make a separate corner.